Welcome back aboard Blurred Force One with your boys Mo and Lottie, and this is the Supercast. The Supercast, where we talk about all things superhero in our pop culture media, and that's movies, TV shows, video games. We talk about the news, do some speculation, all of that good nerdy stuff. And before we get into the podcast today, do us a favor, get down there, hit like on this video. So, look, we're in the second week of January. We got some stuff coming up. We got Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man's coming up tomorrow. Harley Quinn season 5 premieres on Max. That's huge. And we got some big things moving and shaking in the Marvel verse we are going to talk about later on. So before we get into all that, you know what we got to do? We got to talk to our boy Lottie. Lottie, my friend, how you doing, man? What you been up to that's nerdy?
Oh I'm good, man. Of course, with me, nerdy stuff. I haven't gamed as much. I mean, I played some Black Myth Wukong and some Path of Exile too, but mainly been watching some anime again. Finished watching Dawn to Dawn and watched the new Ranma 1/2 anime.
Oh shit!
More manga accurate than the 80s anime. Still not as accurate. It's definitely not as lewd as the manga is, but there's still some but they've done a much better job of being more slapstick and wacky like the manga. Really good. Really good.
That's dope. I wanted to check out Ranma, but I let my Netflix lapse. I'm not. Maybe I'll get to it, but no, I really did want to see it, because I was a big fan of that. I've read the manga all the way through once, 20 years ago, 20 some years ago. But I was also a big fan of that the original anime. There's an OVA that's really dope. I'm a big fan of the soundtracks, all the songs on it. And I've even written Ranma fan fiction. So for real, it's embarrassingly bad. But this was when I was deep into it. If you can believe it, it was a Ranma and Harry Potter fan fiction.
Wow.
I also wrote one that was a Ranma and Blade crossover. It was actually kind of dope. But anyway, I'm glad that you said that that's good. I did want to check that out. As for me, my nerdy stuff, checking out Skeleton Crew, continuing that. I've been rewatching Daredevil. Just finished the first season of Daredevil, which is what an amazing show. It's ridiculous how good season 1 of Daredevil. It is so good that in fact, I'll say it. It's the best Marvel TV show, season of a Marvel TV show that's ever been produced, period. It's better than all of the Disney Plus stuff, in my opinion. It's better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It is just, it's an amazing 13 episodes. So I'm going to be diving into the rest of that, the next 2 seasons plus Punisher, just to get ready for Daredevil Born Again, which, oddly enough, we are going to be talking about later because they released a trailer. So, all that being said, we are the Supercast. We are going to talk about superhero media news. In particular, this week, we're going to talk about Andy Muschietti, who was the director of The Flash, had some choice words that seems like he may have stuck his foot in his mouth. Or did he? We'll see what he says about why The Flash tanked. We got a little news, a little snippet that we're going to sort of discuss from the Russo brothers and Stephen Marcus about, why they are coming on to the Avengers, Secret Wars project. What is there that we should be expecting from them? Also, an unexpected casting for the Visionquest series that we know is coming from Marvel TV. You'd be surprised who this guy is that's coming back. that we haven't seen him in a long time in the MCU. And I'm just going to ask how's this happening? Then we're going to do 3 reviews. I'm going to review What If Season 3, the final season of What If. We're going to talk about Creature Commandos. And then Lottie and I are going to nerd out about that Daredevil Born Again first official trailer that dropped today. And let me just say, I'm not going to bury the lead. It's fantastic. So, Lottie, my friend, are you ready to jump into all of this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's get into it. So, Lottie, my friend, let's just say Andy Muschietti, he stepped into it. You ever see a kid that unknowingly steps into a big old ant pile and just stands there for a second and then realizes, oh shit, this is the worst thing, right? I feel like that's Andy Muschietti right now. Of course, he was the director of The Flash, but prior to that, he directed the, I want to say, the It chapter 1 and 2, I want to say. But he's a good director. That's what I'm trying to say. And by the way, Lottie, you don't have to agree with me. I like The Flash. I thought it was good. It had some wonky ass CG here and there. But I did like the CGI direction. I know a lot of people thought it was weird. I thought it was cool. I like the movie. I'm in the minority. I understand that. I am in the minority. But I did think it was good. So it failed, though. Is that fair to say? It failed at the box office.
You're being quite nice, man.
Well, considering how much they spent on it and how long it took this damn movie to be made, yeah, it flopped quite hard. So the question is, why did it flop? A lot of people can point fingers or whatever. A lot of fingers seem to be pointed at Ezra Miller, right? I don't think it's unreasonable. But he was the star of the show, and also he's off doing some damn near Joker shit. It feels like it sometimes. So, yeah, I mean, you could point at that, but Andy Muschietti, according to some things I saw on social media, take that with a grain of salt. Some things I saw on social media, he basically is like, well, it wasn't a 4-quadrant movie. 4-quadrant meaning, it covers pretty much every demographic or whatever about equally. Everyone equally cares for it. So he was saying that basically that women didn't like or connect with the Flash or Ezra Miller as a person or Ezra Miller's portrayal of the Flash, and that's why, because women didn't come out for it. So Lottie, just off rip, before you put any context in it, you hear this. I mean, it is clear why people will be like, what the fuck, dude? This is, this makes no sense. Why are you blaming women for the failure of this movie? Am I wrong about that?
Man's out of his rabbit ass mind if he thinks, first of all, this is a more dominant male thing industry, especially a character like the Flash. To say women are the reason, it's like if you would have said, if this was like the Barbie movie and the Barbie movie didn't do well, and they said, well, because women didn't like it, makes sense. If women are not coming to watch your Barbie movie, you did. But the Flash, the movie did not do well because it was a cavalcade, an absolute goulash, a brick, as they call it in incarceration, a absolute just smorgasbord of shitty things happened before this movie came out. You have a actor that literally, like you just teased, went through his Joker phase. You had a movie franchise that we know is dead and has been stabbed in the heart multiple times and was kicked in the dust. We know that. Then it's the most unliked of all of the DC characters to have a solo movie. He was the most unliked character in the entire DC, the Snyderverse DCEU. That's another one. And then it took almost a decade for this damn movie to finally freaking come out. And then the amount of rewrites, reshoots, and just absolute jumbleness to make this movie. The, the, the absolute, the absolute cherry on top of this entire movie. This entire movie was the fucking CGI. Add all that together, you get a shit brick. And you expect the movie to do well? You're lucky that the movie even sold more than 300 million. Get the fuck out of here, man.
I what? Let's add some context to this. That was. I'm sorry. Let's add some context to this. So I follow somebody on social media, Courtney Ray, aka at the Ray of Water on Threads, who talks a lot about these things, about these sorts of things, and so she also happens to speak Spanish. So apparently this was a Spanish language periodical or something like that was doing this interview. So she says that there's more context to it. And by the way, it's not like she's, carrying water for DC or anything. She is not a Snyder fan at all. She's not a Snyderverse like stan or whatever. And she's definitely not an Ezra Miller fan. But context, right? So, so she says, and I'm paraphrasing what she said, was that he actually was saying that was what WB told him was the reason why that it failed. Like, because it wasn't, women weren't showing up for it like they were supposed to, and that Ezra Miller's legal problems were part of what dragged down this movie. So basically she's saying, like, Andy wasn't saying, oh, it's all women's fault. He's saying that's what he was told by the brass at WB. So I mean, it's a little better, right? It's a bit better. He's just sharing what he was told. It is weird. It's a weird thing to say, but I will say most directors don't blame the audience for a failure of their movie. Most of them don't. I've never heard him say things like this about other things. And that does sound like some shit that people in business suits would say about, they would blame everybody except themselves, right? So
Yeah.
I'm willing to give Andy Muschietti the benefit of the doubt here, because I don't have a good reason to not. And again, it does sound like some shit some guy in the office would say, so he can avoid getting his bonus taken away. I don't know. You guys take it with a grain of salt. And let's also remember he is a really good director. So we'll likely see more from him. I don't think that women had anything to do with this. This wasn't a cross. First of all, if women didn't show up for it, it's more than likely because their husbands or boyfriends didn't show up for it.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, like, only us hardcore fans really went out for the Flash. And again, I like the movie, but most people didn't. So this is not women's fault. This is the fault of the movie not being what people wanted. So, all right. So, Andy Muschietti, start ducking because you're gonna be catching strays, dog. Moving on. Let's talk this is gonna be a brief talking point, but I thought it was interesting because everyone's been asking, why are the Russos coming back to the MCU? Or really, Lottie, let's be honest. Let's be perfectly honest, right? What they're really saying is, oh man, Marvel, they're desperate. They're super desperate. I even said this shit. Like when we first heard that they were coming back, right? I'm like, man, they must be feeling desperate because, the MCU ain't doing so good. They ain't making, all this money or whatever. They're going back to the tried and true, Russo brothers, and even going back to Stephen Marcus, who helped to write a lot of their hits, in particular, Infinity War and Endgame. So yeah, I cop to it. I think I mean, Lottie, am I off base for feeling like this felt like, maybe some desperation?
No, no, no. This is exactly how I felt when I saw it. You know, I
Yeah.
was like, they're desperate.
Yeah. Like that, and Bob Iger was like, we need that. Well, it's not even Bob Iger. What is it? Moneybags Mickey
M-
was like, I need,
Moneybag Mickey.
I need that. I need that printing press, that Marvel money printing press to get back online. Um, so they bring these guys back in, but to hear them tell it, it's actually because they've been talking with, on it. I mean, obviously they have a good working relationship with Feige and Louis D'Esposito and all of the people over at Marvel, because why wouldn't they? But they were saying essentially that, through their talks, they were, talking about, what's the next Avengers thing, and could they do Secret Wars? Now, I mean, Secret Wars, the newest one, the Battle World one, like that Doom created. And they said that essentially they asked Stephen Marcus if he had any ideas. And he was just like, man, fuck no. Why would I? And then he calls the next morning, like, well, actually, I have an idea. And then they were like, the idea is so good, we've got to do this. Now, that's as far as I got because the article wasn't free and I couldn't read any more of it. But the gist of it being that they organically came up with an idea. Lottie, do you buy? I'm just saying, do you buy this?
No.
This feels like the sort of shit that they're like, no, really, we had a great idea. It wasn't because they gave us bags of millions of dollars, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we had great ideas. Wow, there's $40 million being reimbursed in our account right now. Yep. But I'm telling you, the idea was so great. It's just, it was amazing. Wait till you see it.
And it
Hell
is
out of here.
it's weird that they can't just own up to, like, nah, they said here's a lot of money, recreate the $1 billion franchise moments. Which, to be fair, if you got to do it, why not? This is like in Elf. Remember in Elf when they were like, we got to get a pitch done. Let's just call in the hit maker himself and we'll pay him a lot of money and he'll make a hit for us. It feels like that, which ironically John Favreau directed that movie, but still, they're bringing in the hit makers. Now, that isn't to say that this idea isn't amazing, but like, can we also be honest? They got the fucking comic books right there, man.
Yeah.
They got the comics. They'll just take it straight, figure it out straight from there. How hard can it be? Which I say as a person that can't write or direct a damn movie. But I'm like, y'all don't have to front, man. It's fine. We get it. They said here's a lot of money, you figure it out. If you give me $80 million, bitch, I'll figure it out. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Give me $80 million and give me a cut off of those profits. Hell, that shit gonna be on point. So anyway, we really believe you guys for real though. Speaking of the MCU, Lottie, you the Visionquest show. We talked about this briefly. The showrunner for the most recent season of Star Trek Picard, Terry Matalas. He is the showrunner for this. They're getting moving. They're doing pre-production, they're pre-production, development, all that stuff for the Vision Quest series. So, of course, about the White Vision or the Caucasian Vision, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
uh, who who is the kind of the robot minus the Mind Stone. He left at WandaVision and just disappeared to parts unknown. And now we're going to find out more about what happened to him after that. So they announced someone who's going to be in the cast. That's an MCU character that is returning for this show. And how the hell? I want to ask how. How is this the guy? It's Raza Faran Tahir. I'm reading that. You know who that is, Lottie? You know what this is? Look out! I'm flashing this on
Now
the
looking
screen.
at the picture, it's somehow, some way the guy who got
He's
oh
dead.
why him?
This
Why
is
him?
why he's. I'm trying to figure this out. How is this guy here? We just finished
I,
watching Iron Man. You and I
I
just
mean,
finished watching Iron Man. This man got murdered by
so
by Obadiah Stane. How is he alive?
so here's my thing. I don't mind that he's still alive, but why him? This man hasn't appeared in anything MCU related in almost 20 years. Why him? Like, it's if you want to bring a character back from the dead, cool. But why this guy? It's been 17 years. 17 years? It's like what's his name? It's like Omni-Man says 17 more years. Like, come on. This is just like, yep. I just want to be in the meeting room when they're like, we need a villain for the movie. Oh man, how about this guy that's from like one of Vision's villains? No, that sounds too good. Okay, we need to bring someone back, and they started naming all these good villains. Thanos, no, doesn't make sense. But then they said the Mandarin. No, he's an actor. Let's bring back the villain from Iron Man 1.
Wait, not
What?
even. Wait, not even the villain.
Not even the villain.
Even
The side villain. The B villain. Let's bring back. So they're like, wait. So you're bringing back Obadiah Stane? No.
No,
Not Obadiah Stane.
no, and the other bald head guy.
The other. Wait. What? Yes, it will make sense. They won't see it coming. Oh my god.
Yeah, let's explain how this guy's still alive. Maybe it'll be a period piece. Maybe it'll be from back I don't know 2008 or so. I cannot fathom this. This makes no sense to me. It's not supposed to. Not in the writers' room, obviously. But my man is dead because Obadiah literally was like, shoot him and get rid of his body. So
yeah.
Unless the Mandarin showed up and beat the hell out of whoever those mercs were, I don't see it. Now that I say that, maybe the Mandarin showed up and beat the hell out of the mercs that were going to kill him. I don't know. What's he been doing since then? Like what? Like really? What's this man been doing? He ain't been in Afghanistan. Where?
Mm-hmm.
I guess
we'll find out. I guess he's probably just been sitting in his mansion like what's his name was doing for a while, Bin Laden. So maybe
he been streaming on Twitch. That's what it is.
He's been doing.
My man,
he's the MC. Oh, it makes sense. He's the MCU Bin Laden. There we go.
my man has been on Twitch getting affiliate links, and he's been selling like Manscaped and Dr. Squatch.
The first, what is it called? Life model decoy used in the MCU. You've been dead. Fake news.
Clear. Like reports of my death have been highly exaggerated. And Vision's like, same dog. Oh,
the first life model decoy ever used in the MCU was in the first movie.
And they all bawled because Nick Fury had to use one too. So, oh my god. Okay, I'm intrigued. I got to know how this works. So we gonna keep an eye on this whenever they give us more context about this, but this shit gonna be hilarious. Whatever it is, I can guarantee it. So we'll let you guys know when we find out more. All right, so let me chill out for a second. All right, so let's do some reviews. Since we got it's a very slow news week, we're gonna do some reviews. So first, let's talk about Marvel's What If Season 3, which Lottie hasn't watched before. Shame on you, sir. Shame. There's the meme I'm sure I could put up on the screen to represent the shame that you should feel, sir, for not watching Marvel's What If season 3. So I will talk about it, how I felt about it. This ran for 8 days, starting before, like, I think the 22nd, running through the 30th of December. Of course, all animated in the What If style. A bunch of weird and wacky stories about alternate versions of the MCU and the creepy ass Watcher who just likes to peep on everybody, right? Played by Jeffrey Wright, with his very much radio and commercial voice. His big old bald Q head, not a life model decoy, but an actual big old bald Q head. So this set, you know what I'll say? This season was cool. It was a step down. I think season 2 was probably the best season of this show. I really liked season 2 a lot. It came to a head in a very interesting way, and introduced a new character, Kahori, which was really cool. This season, this one felt like they were going further afield as far as the different kind of things. Because like the problem with What If is that it can feel sometimes like, a riff on a song you already know. Like, I mean, Lottie, you know what I mean? There's a song you already know, and then someone sort of plays a riff on it, but it's still the song, right? This one, they were like, what if the riff is so weird that it's almost basically another song? Like, for instance, there's an episode where it's a Wild West episode, right?
Yeah.
And you have Shang-Chi and Kate Bishop as basically folk heroes, out in the Wild West kicking ass with guns and shit. You have an episode where it's a follow on from the Bro Thor, Party Bro Thor episode where Darcy and Howard the Duck have a baby. And it like everybody's trying to get their baby or their egg. Excuse me. There's an episode where it's the 40s and Howard Stark is a movie producer, and you have Agatha from WandaVision and Agatha all along, and Kingo from Eternals. And there's a whole episode where Riri Williams is a freedom fighter where the Earth has been destroyed by the celestial emergence. And then, of course, there's a big bad, fight episode toward the end where, spoilers, you get some returning characters like Captain Carter, Kahori, and then you get a brand new character who was hinted at in a previous episode in the season. And you get, again, spoiler alert, because this is in the trailer, you get Storm, the first X-Men character in the What If, and she's the god of thunder. She has Mjolnir, and she is, and they're kind of doing a multiversal thing. So, I mean, all of that is really fun. I think the problem I had with this season is that some of the episodes seem quite inconsequential. Like, if you're gonna have everything leading up to a big bad multiversal fight, these characters that are involved in the game up to that point, at least one or more of them need to be kind of involved in it, and you need to sort of know them. And the problem I have with that is that, yeah, we know Kahori, yeah, we know Captain Carter from previous seasons, but the new character that is part of the crew that fights the multiversal fight, we don't know her, right? And Storm, we know her sort of, but like not really. So like she does, like in the previous seasons, the characters that fought with the Watcher, we sort of saw them, right, leading up to that. We saw their stories. They had T'Challa, Star-Lord T'Challa. You had Infinity Ultron. You had Strange, the fallen Doctor Strange. So we knew them. And this one, that didn't really happen. You got a lot of interesting stories. You got cool stories like, Red Guardian and the Winter Soldier and all that stuff. And they're fun, but they're not consequential. So in a way, it's more true to the What If comics than maybe the previous seasons have, because in the What If comic can really just be a one-off, hey, wouldn't this be cool if episode. And in the seasons before, it's more cohesive and leading to something. It also could be, like I said, that they're not riffs on familiar things. They really are out of left field sort of interpretations of possible Marvel universes. And that it sometimes feels a little bit like a cameo, porn, if you will. But they don't overplay their hand as far as that goes. Again, not my favorite season. It probably is out of the three, it's probably the third to me. But there's some enjoyable fun stuff in it. There's one episode I think maybe the least of all of the episodes of the entire series, but I thought it was a good ride, and I will revisit it. It's a fun show. This was a fun season. It had some good ideas. It had some good stakes. The finale was quite fun. I don't think any of the ideas that are in this show beyond Marvel Zombies are going to be carried forward beyond this show. But it would be nice if some of these characters, I think maybe Cohorty, maybe Captain Carter might show up in live action, or Thunder God Storm. That would be cool too. So I recommend you watch it. It's not the best, but I think it's quite entertaining. So, so watch it. Lottie, you need to go watch it. I'm just to go watch it already. So let's talk about something that we did watch, and that is Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos is, of course, it's the first of the new DCU, the brainchild of James Gunn. It's an animated, basically Suicide Squad, but instead of human villains, it's got monsters that are being tasked in the new Task Force X. And in this case, they have to go to Pakistan and protect the princess of Pakistan from Cersei, who she and her MAGA stand-in Manosphere man army are trying to kill the queen, the princess of Pakistan, to prevent Armageddon is essentially at the hands of this princess. But Lottie, she's a cute little blonde girl with a fun accent and also a thing for older guys. So clearly she can't be evil, right?
Listen, man. Can I just be honest? I saw this shit coming a mile away. And this is not like because of a cliche. It's more of like she's clearly an evil bitch.
Well, I'm about to say no spoilers, but yeah,
no spoilers.
But and she's by the way played by Maria Bakalova, who I first noticed in she was in the Borat sequel. And that also is apparently where James Gunn noticed her, because he then went on to cast her as Cosmo, the cosmonaut dog in Guardians of the Galaxy. So she is the voice of that. But
that's her.
Yes. So she is also the voice of the princess in this one. And Lottie, the cast is quite diverse. Look, it's a Suicide Squad movie, right? So we get a bunch of monsters who are supposedly villainous. They're sent on a quote suicide mission, but it's not really. But they're sent on a suicide mission to deal with Cersei, who is an Amazonian sorceress, right? And she's on a mission to kill this woman. They're led by Rick Flag, who's played by Frank Grillo, and who you may have known as Crossbones in the MCU. And they are basically doing Suicide Squad stuff. But Lottie, what does James Gunn do always when it comes to these sorts of characters? What is he gonna do?
In my house of pain. No, there's no one home. In my house of pain. Man, this man, why does he do this to me? I'm literally watching this. I think I texted to you. I was like, this motherfucker's about to do it again, isn't he? This motherfucker got me feeling bad for a freaking robot. What the? Oh, James Gunn, stop it with this. And he does it so strategically. He places the House of Pain moments when you are disliking the character the most. You're just like, yeah, yeah, I can see what happened. I can see, I see it. I freaking see it, and it is great. It is absolutely great. The one character that I absolutely was disgusted by from the original, from the OG. We're not even talking about the other Suicide Squad. We're talking about the OG original 2016 one. Weasel made me put me in the House of Pain with this dude. Man, I'm like, God. I- the character I thought was the most unforgivable. Oh my
I think this is a testament to
It's a perfect gift. You know the gift of the black dude that's smoking a cigarette looking stressed out. That's how I am every time I see one of these characters' backstories. I'm like,
look. This is a testament to James Gunn's understanding of character. He has a knack for taking characters that either you don't know or you have the wrong impression of, or they're a villain, right? They're either in Guardians they are just a motley crew of people you don't really know them, or in the Suicide Squad there's outright villains.
yes,
And then in this one they're straight up monsters, like for real. And then he's like, well, let me explain. Well, hold on, let me explain what really happened. And then you be like, yo, well, you like, God damn it, like, come on, like, Dr. Phosphorus is a murderer, out
yes,
straight up. He is a straight up murderer, and he gives them story beats where you're just like, man, please don't kill this. Just like don't like pass by these people. You ain't done nothing to you.
yeah,
And then and
exactly.
you're thinking like, oh my god, this guy's about to like just do the work. And then he does something not just human, but entirely relatable, understandable. And you're like, oh god, he's just broke. He's a broken and hurt person that
Yes,
he has so much trauma and he's turning it outward, right? And you're
yes,
like, my god, okay, fine. I'll empathize with him. He's not all bad. Weasel supposedly killed a bunch. Oh, wait a minute. It's all bullshit. Okay. All right, fine. Weasel's fine. Oh, the bride. Wait a minute. She's been through hell thanks to her creator and her creator's creation. Oh, okay. Fine. I guess. Oh, fine. Okay. Oh, Nina. Wait a minute. She ain't even a bad guy. She ain't even evil. Like, eh, he does this with all these characters. He even manages to make the most villainous character on the entire show understandable, if not relatable, right? Like,
yes,
and I'm not gonna say who the character. Well, I will say it's Frankenstein's monster, right? Right?
yes.
You understand his motivate. He's an awful, terrible, terrible person, and yet I completely understand where he's coming from, right? I get it. He's wrong. I can't wait till he gets his ass whooped, but I get it. Like he does this through the entire show. And honestly, the actual mission is whatever to me. Like, am I wrong about that, Lottie? It's like, it's just whatever to me.
I was so raw. My feelings. at the end of the show were so raw. When it ended, I was just like, just take me out of this house of pain, man. Like that last episode destroyed me, man. That last episode, I just said, James Gunn, please, I'm done. I'm done. I'm, you know the joke. I'm done. Take me out. I'm done. That's how I felt.
What? What's?
It was
Yeah.
in a good way, not in a bad way, guys. In a good way. That's what it felt like. Because I'm just like, oh, I'm done. Take me out. Cut the show.
I think it's interesting that he saturates you and all that so much, and like there's a lot of highs. Like it's quite funny. It's very violent in many ways. There's a lot of emotional beats in it. It's good characterization. Let's just call it what it is. And then the stakes are ramped up hugely in the final episode. So you understand the emotional weight of what's happening. And there's even catharsis in it, right? There's a cathartic moment at the very tail end that where I was like, yes, like hell yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say what happened, but I was like, yes. I knew it was coming, and if I felt vindicated because of this character moment that happened between two of the characters. Because prior to that, I was like, James Gunn, you bastard. Like, am I wrong about? Like, I felt like you motherfucker. How dare you? How dare you give us this character, right? Like, and then you give us this moment, and it's like terrible and heartbreaking. But then there's that bit of catharsis. It like I love this show. I'm not gonna say it's Peacemaker level, and
No.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna say that it accomplished its goal of, to me, telling me exactly what I should be expecting from the DCU going forward. They're not gonna shy away from different types of stories. They'll have different tones. It's going to be strong writing. This is a strongly written season of TV. If this were live action, people would be like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" Like, am I wrong? If this was an animation, if this was live action, people would be acting like it's Peacemaker. But because it's
Yes.
animation, it's whatever. I think it's a great entry. And if you don't have confidence in the DCU after this, you're not paying attention. This man knows what the fuck he's on. And he is dialed into all of the writing that's going on around the DCU. But this is setting the standard. It's if Superman is gonna eclipse this, I'm certain. And that's the level that I'm expecting from DC. What do you think, Lottie?
I completely agree. Like I said, man, I just know, man. Super after watching this Superman, it's just something. I just maybe it's going to be Lois Lane, but we're gonna get put in the house of pain through Superman too.
Oh,
I just
I'm just like James Gunn. Now you can't keep doing this to us, man. That's like heart's hurting. Stop, but keep going
yes.
because it hurts. So it hurts good though. It really was a good show, and I'm so glad that they renewed this for a second season. Definitely need more of this stuff. They even teased at the end of this season what the next incarnation of this team is going to be. Is looking pretty dope. I not I'll just say we're gonna get we're gonna get some pretty cool characters. One of whom you have seen in a previous version of the Suicide Squad. Not gonna say anything else about it. So you guys go check that out if you haven't already. So Lottie, finally, we gotta talk about the elephant in the room, or I guess we could say the devil in the room. Um, because the Daredevil Born Again official trailer dropped today. I'm so glad we waited to record till today. Cause this thing, I couldn't have waited a week on this shit. I ain't gonna lie. I could not have waited a week for this to talk about this trailer. Everyone's talking about it. Like, Lottie, have you been looking on like YouTube and seeing the reaction channels? People who don't normally react to trailers or whatever are on the reaction for this show. It's like everyone's buzzing about this show. I didn't get to watch it until after I got off work this afternoon, but like it's legit. Check out my reaction. It's on the channel. You'll see what I'm talking about. But so Lottie, I want before I say anything else about it, I want to hear your thoughts. What did you think about this trailer?
Honestly, when I was watching this trailer, it just kept going through my mind. Dun, 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 dun. It reminded me a lot of Batman. And because I haven't seen the original Daredevil show, I plan on seeing it. Don't get on me. Don't get on me. This is back when I didn't have Netflix, guys. And I know it's on Disney Plus. Working on my Disney Plus right now. But yeah, this show looked dark. It honestly looks like a extreme, and I don't mean just it looks like an extreme like move away compared to like what we mostly see Disney do, Disney with their Marvel series do. This looks like they just I think what happened was, remember when the original, like we heard the original Daredevil Born Again script got completely scrapped. I think the original Daredevil Born Again show looked way too MCU. And Kevin Feige said, "No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This needs to look like Daredevil, you know?" And it looks it. There's literally a part of the trailer where it shows a guy's arm breaking. Like it's not like it's like off screen
No,
and you hear it.
no,
They show it to you.
it's a compound fracture with blood coming through it,
Yes.
and that wasn't the only. They're like
Whew.
you get a compound fracture, you get a compound fracture. They're giving that shit out like Oprah. Um, I will say, I'm in the middle of my rewatch. The brutality of the violence in this is up a notch above what was in the show, but the show's quite like the Netflix show's quite violent in terms of the bodily harm and people just getting straight up shot in the face and stuff like that. It's very much a gritty crime drama with the guy in a mask running around going hard. Um, I don't know the context of some of the stuff that's going on here. It's fine. I don't need to. There's the Punisher in there. You saw the Punisher briefly. There's a new villain, a new masked villain that they're going to have to deal with. Wilson Fisk is the mayor of New York City for some strange reason. I missed some stuff, but it is hard to understate how they they understood the assignment and completed it for this trailer. Um, they showed the Daredevil mask, not the yellow one. Remember we saw him in She-Hulk? The yellow
Yeah.
one from She-Hulk was right there. Somebody compared them to the Ninja Turtle mask, and I thought that was funny. Um, so it is kind of an amazing thing. And also, let me just say, Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio have not lost a step. It's been damn near 10 years since the first season of Daredevil came out. Almost 10, I think it's 9 years since the first season of that show came out. And they haven't lost a step. These guys are 100% on their game. Vincent D'Onofrio, I said in a tweet, like the day before yesterday, he's probably one of the top. He's probably has one of the top 5 performances of any Marvel character ever. Like, think of your favorite performances of any Marvel character you've seen. He's in the top 5. I guarantee you. When you see
Mm-hmm.
you'll see what I'm talking about. Charlie Cox is just. I mean, he is Matt Murdock. I can't see anybody else right now. And they're bringing back Foggy and Karen. Like, they weren't originally going to be in the original incarnation of this show. And New York needs help. Also, Lottie, did you notice something? You want to know something I thought was very interesting timing? Wilson Fisk is the mayor of New York City. Now, at the end of the first season, he's in prison or he's in jail, indicted for a lot of crimes, right?
Oh boy.
And now he's the mayor of New York. Is this serendipitous timing or what?
Oh boy.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like the man's literally in a cell at the end of season 1. Now, again, I haven't seen season 2 or 3 or whatever. At some point, he gets out or exonerated or whatever. But I'm just saying, hey, I'm not too stupid to see what's there, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, as a person who hasn't seen the original Daredevil show, is this motivating you to go watch the show to be ready for this on March 3rd?
Yes.
So,
Honestly, it is.
yes, there you go. I'm telling you, there are a lot of people right now who are like, "What? I need to go watch Daredevil." Okay, there are going to be some normies who are going to watch a Disney Plus show for the first time in a long time, if at all, because this looks like very serious. In fact, you said something about it reminds you of Batman. There is the Dark Knight influence in this, in particular in that bank robbery bit. When I watched the bank robbery bit, I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that feels like the Dark Knight." Like there's certain aspects of it that feels like that. So I'm excited, Lottie. You seem excited. I think a lot of people are really looking forward to this. So if you're on your rewatch, you got like 2 months, not even 2 months. You have 6 weeks to get it done. So have at it. Um, that being said, that's all of our news for today and all of our reviews and discussion. But what did you guys think about it? What did you think about what we had? Say, get down to the comment section, leave your thoughts there. And of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com, blurred_force1 on Instagram and on Threads. And sadly, we're not going to be on TikTok anymore unless somebody steps in. So if
Mr.
we are,
Beast.
probably not going to be Mr. Beast. It's going to be Mr. Trump, I think. We'll see. But if we are on there, it's super _not_funny show on TikTok. So while you're doing all that, do us a favor, get down there, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. All that good stuff helps to grow this channel, helps more people to see this podcast and all of the other content that we make. And of course, I can't do this all by myself. Me and Lottie, we have to chop it up. So Lottie, my friend, where can they reach you on your social media?
You can always find me on my Instagram and YouTube channel, Anukinihun. Again, it's Anukinihun, ANUKINIHUN. Again, it's ANUKINIHUN. I'm working on a new animation, and you can also go back and look at some of my old videos. There's actually something trending right now talking about the unsustainability of Xbox Game Pass. Your boy was talking about this all the way back in August. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, we need to call you. I think we're gonna have to call you Lottie Stradamus, because now I do remember you talking. Yeah, we were talking about this, and I remember your video. And yeah, surprise. Here's a surprise. Putting AAA games right when they come out on a subscription service doesn't work. Ask Netflix about how well spending $200 million on a only for Netflix movie works out for them, financially.
It's exactly. It's like Microsoft just saw all the all the streaming networks lose money and said we could do it better.
We can lose money better than them. Oh man. So anyway, go get Game Pass and make it happen. That being said, this has been episode 167 of the Supercast. Thanks for joining us. I also want to point you guys to our brand new podcast that I talked about last week. I'm going to keep on talking about it because it's dope. And of course, that is the Marvel Infinity Rewatch podcast. You can check it out on the channel, or you can check it out on the podcasting platform everywhere except Apple Podcasts, because they just don't want me to put it on there, or maybe I'm just having account problems. Whatever. The first episode is Iron Man, but episode 2 is going to be coming out in a couple weeks, where we're talking about the Incredible Hulk. That I did that episode with Joe from Muscles in the Multiverse. Look forward to that. It will be a good time, and it's a good excuse to just go back and rewatch the MCU. Everyone loves those movies, right? So rewatch the movies and then come see what we had to say all about it. So, with all that being said, I have been Mo, your comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Lottie. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.